Hello, beautiful people. How are you all? Alia, coming to you live. If you are catching me live, please say hi, say who you are and where you are from. And if you will catch this video in replay, please hashtag replay, let me know you watched it, and let me know if you have any comments or any questions. Today I'm gonna talk about a very specific topic. So if you are catching me live, you are in for a treat because I'm gonna talk to you about the secret to life. And it's quite a deep subject, and not everyone is talking about it in this context. So I suggest you stay around and listen to this live. And if you have any questions, please just put them in the comments below, and let me know what they are. So the secret of life, what we will talk about today. I recently posted an analogy which I would love to share with you today. An analogy is that the flower does not chase the bees. The flower opens up, it blossoms, and it releases the nectar. And this nectar attracts the bees to the flower. Now, this analogy is the secret of life. And we will talk more in depth about what I mean by that. Because whatever is applicable to the flower is applicable to you as well. And that's how your life should be like. Hi George, well, happy to see you. Happy to see you live. Please join. That is true for you, and that is how your life should be like. You should be a flower that is blossoming, opening up, and releasing its nectar to the world. Now you may ask, well, that's very beautiful, but I still don't understand what exactly you mean. Well, what I mean is that in order for you to blossom into the flower that you are meant to be, you should embody that essence that you are. And the essence that you are is the fundamental life that is within you, and that is the same life that is within flower. And the way it functions in this creation is that the life has a certain imprints on it. If you can look at it from a different dimension of consciousness, you will see that the whole creation is just one big life dancing with the sparkling colors, with the imprints of life on it. So you have a specific and very unique to you imprint that none of 5 billion or whatever is the current population in the world has, and no one will ever have the same imprint as you are. And the same applies to everyone. But at the same time, your imprint is unique to you, but the essence is the same in everyone. So life is the same in everyone, in every human being, in every living creature. And what I mean by life I mean the high intelligence, the higher consciousness. And that is where humanity is evolving towards, to become a fully fledged life. The same like a flower. You know why the flower does not have any problems? Because it follows its unique imprint. You know, if you take a rose, it does not say, well, I want to be a lotus, or I want to be a bush, or something else. No, it follows its uniquely designed imprint and flowers into the highest possibility of that imprint of itself. So the same is true in your case. And the reason why so many people are not even aware of that aspect of themselves is because of the abnormal conditions of our life, and of course because no one ever told you about that. So you simply don't know you don't know your uniqueness, you don't know your possibilities, you don't know who you are. So the unique life imprint that you are, and that imprint has like a seed. It's an energetic seed that contains all the information that is needed for your evolution. So whatever is needed for your life, for the evolution of consciousness in your form, will be provided for you. And that relates to the place you are born, and that relates to your parents, and that relates to your siblings, and that relates to any people that are surrounding you, because that wherever you are and whatever circumstances of your life were provided for you, were needed for you specifically to evolve into the higher state of consciousness. And of course, the teachers that you meet as well, those who help you to rise higher into the evolved, elevated states of consciousness, they will be attracted to you by the same imprint that you are. So if you want to see it as a magnificent, highly intelligent power that runs your life. And if you just look into your life, but look into your life in a different way, not as you all usually do, but look at that from the point that yes, actually everything that happened in my life was needed to bring me into where I am now. So it was needed for me to grow, it was needed for me to elevate, it was needed for me to learn something or to transcend something. So that's energetic seed that is life, that is in every single one of our bodies. And that is the something that has priceless value. Of course, if if someone puts a pillow on your face, you will see how precious life is, right? You will see that nothing else matters. You just want to live. And it's an incredible power that wants to grow and grow and grow. So, wherever you feel an impulse of expansion, an impulse of growth, an impulse of elevation, that is alive in you, that wants to expand, that wants to evolve, that wants to experience things. It's not your mind. And that is the mistake that so many people are making. And now, with the rising consciousness globally, much more people are waking up and realizing that that whatever wherever they live, they are living in a totally constrained reality of their mind and emotions. So, in other words, majority of population lives in their past. And what do I mean? Majority of population are living in the past. It means that they live in their mind and emotions. And by emotions, I mean specifically the subconscious layers, which is not consciously available to you, meaning that you are not even aware of what's going on in your subconscious. So essentially, you're confined to a very narrow existence. So yeah, you may do say, oh my God, I'm doing the mindset work, I'm expanding my mind, or I'm healing, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are healing, you need to realize that you are healing the dimension of the past in you. Yeah, so your mind and emotions, the imprints that your mental and emotional field have in your body. So, and as long as you stay in the past, you will be confined to a certain limited existence. For some can be very tight. If you're too much in your past, if you're too much in your head and too much in your emotions. For some who are working on their mind and mindset and emotions, or they can expand a little bit. They can just be like that, for example. But this is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about dimension that is beyond your mind, beyond your emotions. I'm talking about the dimension that is unbounded, where there are no limitations, where there are no walls, where you are unconfined life. And this is the dimension where you are evolving towards. Sooner or later, you will come to that dimension. Maybe not in this lifetime, but if you are lucky, and especially if you are someone that is catching this video and saying, oh my God, that is what I want to come to that unbounded dimension of myself where I'm not confined by any of my past, then you are someone who is ready to embody that dimension in this lifetime. And with a global evolving of consciousness, it's much easier to do. And It's not simple. It's still not simple, and it's not simple at all, because if you are going for the ultimate, you're gonna face some challenges. Inevitably, they're gonna come to you. But at the same time, it's much easier to rise into that unbounded state, your unbounded reality, faster. Faster. And if you are lucky enough in this lifetime, you can embody your highest dimension in this lifetime, because you are someone who understands, who has already a certain ground in you that is responding to that is looking for that is looking for that growth, that expansion. So what happens when you live in the normal reality? Well, I'm not using any spiritualistic terms, but I think it's called 3D reality. Yeah, so you live in your mind and emotions. You are very much confined to a programming and the conditioning that was implanted to you since your childhood and ruled by your subconscious mind. Yeah. So your possibilities as life will be limited to that programming or that conditioning, unless you choose to evolve and grow. And that is the case when you create struggles in your life, because you have your original imprint, your original natural imprint of life within you that has already your highest destiny encoded. So it's like your highest path is already encoded in you, and you can rise to that level, and then you will be like a flower attracting everything around you, and your life will be smooth and effortless. There is no struggle, there is no hustling around, there is no emotional ups and downs. It's a totally different dimension that we are talking about. But in normal reality, you are going through struggles. You're going through the pain. You're going through the unhappiness, because you are not yourself. You are not following that original life imprint on you. You are following that restrictive narrow conditioning of your mind and emotions. And since you are not following that, of course, that creates a lot of struggle for you. So you have to chase the bees yourself. Yeah, you have to run, you have to achieve, you have to struggle, try hard. What they say? Work hard, play hard. Everything is hard struggle. Always running around, always busy, always, always in that tight environment of your mind and emotions. Now, living in this dimension, it means living into your lowest possibility as a human being. You are going through emotions, ups, downs, depressed, happy, and then you get You get some holidays, or you get some promotion, and then you're elevated, and then you have a heartbreak, and that's your life. So this dimension is not gonna get you into the flower that you are meant to be, because this dimension is limited by its nature, and nothing that is limited can give you unbounded possibility. So what is the solution? The solution is come back to your essence. Now, there is no need for improvement for you. It's very important to notice, because the whole world that is functioning on this level of the mind and emotion, they are looking for improvement, because that that identity, that struggling identity, emotional struggling identity, knows that it's not adequate, knows that it does not have any reality on its own. That's why it's looking for improvement, constant improvement. That's why you see the self-improvement industry, one of the biggest industries in the world. Why? Because nothing that is real can feel complete and whole. That's impossible. That's why that unreal entity that is operating in you feels inadequate and wants to improve itself. Whereas in your essence, there is absolutely no need to improve anything apart from removing that restrained box of your conditioning and subconscious mental and emotional memory. This is the only work that needs to be done, because everything is already in you and it's already perfect. Your essence is perfect. It's not, the life in you is already perfect. And the life in you contains the seeds of various dimensions of yourself, of your essence, because your essence cannot be confined in anything, in any definition. No human design can confine your essence. You're beyond all the definition. You cannot, it takes life to see the magnificence of the being that you are. You cannot be confined in a certain narrow definition. What can be confined is that limited structure that you build for yourself, thinking that you are your mind and emotions. Yeah, that can, of course, be categorized, but not you. You cannot be categorized as anything, because you are life itself. And this life, when it starts to awaken, it has certain dimensions in which it expresses itself. Now, what are these dimensions? As you grow into your essence, so the first dimension is a dimension of self-knowledge. So the wisdom of yourself. Now that is very different from the information that you acquire during your lifetime from your mind and learning and studying, from your experiences. That's totally different. The self-knowledge and wisdom is your intrinsic knowledge. It's available to you all the time that you want to call upon it. Now, if you noticed, I never prepare any of my lives. I never prepare the workshops that I'm doing, because I sit and I call on myself knowledge, the wisdom of life that is within me. And I'm sharing that with you because that wisdom is within you as well. And once you start getting to know yourself beyond the patterns of your past, you start getting more and more access to that deeper layer of self-knowledge that is available to you. Now, another facet of your essence, and which is very important, is the dimension of your power, the inner power. Now, you cannot have any power if you are operating in your mind and emotions. You do not have any power. You may have force, and you saw that people are applying their mental and emotional force, but that's not power. That's not power. So what is power? When I talk about power, I talk about consolidation of your energy, because that leads to power. And consolidation of your energy leads to your presence, as a conscious presence. Because if you function in the limited dimension of yourself, that's when you have the chaos inside. Your emotions, why your emotions are here. You have anger, there you have conflict, there you have suppressions, there you have all kinds of energy blockages. That is not the condition for your power. Now, each of you has access to an enormous power within you. And that power comes when you start to consolidate your energy. And those who work with me, they know that's what the process that we go through. We are consolidating the energies. We are transforming all that stuck lower energies and turning that into the power. And we are opening up the energy centers, the energy channels. Now, your power is in the openness of all energy channels of your system. Now, you can refer to chakras if you are familiar with this system. Now, the energy centers are very important for your evolution and growth in consciousness, because growth, elevation in consciousness is elevation in your energy. And when we work with Kundalini, what is Kundalini? Kundalini is the activation of the fundamental energy of life. So, in order for you to be a full-fledged life and carry that unique imprint, so you can live a joyful and effortless life destined for you, you need to activate that dimension of energy. It's within you, but we need to do things to activate it. It does not happen just like that. Or in some cases, it may happen, it may be activated, but then there has there has been a certain work that has been carried, certain seed of that energy that has been carried through for that activation to happen. So for most people, we need to work on opening that energy channels and activating that fundamental energy of life for you to become full-fledged life and expand, and not only expand but remove the boundaries that you have set for yourself by living in your past. Now, in the third dimension of your essence is a dimension of prosperity. Prosperity is not only about having money. In fact, if you only have money, you do not have prosperity. Prosperity, first and foremost, is an inner state of abundance, an inner state of wealth, an inner overflowing of resources within you. Yeah, like the nectar. And of course, that prosperity that starts within you is manifested outwardly as well, in the prosperity that you can create in your physical world. Yeah, and that can come in the forms of money, it can come in the forms of opportunities, it can come in any forms. But for that to happen, all of the three dimensions need to be worked on. Because if one dimension is missing, you cannot elevate into a complete full-fledged life. If you lack self-knowledge, if your energies are not activated, you will not have the prosperity within you, the inner wealth within you, enough inner wealth to manifest outwardly. So the work needs to be done of all that three dimensions. Yeah, the self-knowledge and energy, which cultivating that leads into prosperity within and without. Because normally you should not have any problems in your outward existence if you have self-knowledge and if you have the energy, if you have the power to do things. Because you will be intuitively guided what to do, and you will have sufficient resources within and without to do what you need to do. And you will be supported in that. So, like the flower. So the nectar is actually the flowering, the flowering of life, the highest destiny of life, which comes in the form of a flower, to produce this beautiful flower and release the nectar. So the nectar is the prosperity, so the culmination of that wealth that is within you, that can be spread around. And that is the inner work, that is the higher dimension of the inner work. And in that inner work, you don't need a lot of healing, you don't need to do work on the mind, you don't need to do a lot of work on the emotions. In that dimension, we do the necessary work on that, the necessary, because we do need to clear clear up and to purify the body, to prepare it for the essence to come more into your body, because the essence is there, is a dimension within your body already. It's not coming from somewhere, from the cosmos or whatever. It's not about that. It's just that to live it, to embody that dimension needs to be active in your body, not dormant, but active. And active means that every single moment you are living that, the essence that you are, every single moment of your life, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep, all the day, every day you are living in that dimension of yourself. So for that, some work needs to be done. But once we touch the dimension of your essence, a lot of work is happening for you. It's just done for you by the source, by the life that is within you. And that what helps you to elevate quicker, much more quicker than you would go through the improving of yourself and doing the endless healings and doing the endless work on the mind. It has its place. All work has its place, but the way that I'm showing you is the way of the essence, and that is much more advanced way which helps you to get into your highest possibility and highest destiny quicker. And as you are someone who resonates with this type of approach, if you are someone who is saying, yes, I want to embody that dimension of myself and live my highest destiny. And what does it mean to live in the highest destiny? It means to live actually an effortless life. Effortless life in joy, in love, in peace, not running around chasing things, chasing people, chasing circumstances. No, that's not an effortless life. Effortless life is to be what you are and attract everything that is designed for you by your unique life imprint. And if you feel activated by that, if you say, well, yes, that's what I want to do, that's something for me, I'm ready to embody that dimension, I invite you to join 5 months transformative program. And this is one of the most amazing things that you could ever do in your life. And the reason why I'm so certain about that, it's because it's coming from that place of essence within myself that wants you to be at that level. And in these 5 months, we will work on going beyond the limits of our past, beyond our limited identity driven by our subconscious mind and emotion. And we will rise into that state of essence that we are. And we will embody that. So it's quite important, the distinction. We are not just connecting with that. Like, oh yes, I'm meditating, I'm connecting. Then you go and you live your life, everyday life, in that limited state. That's not what we are going to do. We are going to actually bring that essence into that body fully, embody that. And we are going to work on all facets of your essence. We are going to work on self-knowledge, the wisdom, access to the depths of wisdom. That's going to be done through the live transmissions. And we are going to work on the creating the power and consolidating the energy. So Kundalini. You're going to activate that dimension of yourself. And then we are going to work on cultivating the prosperity, our inner wealth, and manifest it outwardly in accordance to our unique blueprint. So if you want to join this program, send me a message. I would love to answer the questions that you may have. Okay, thank you so much for joining me and being with me, and thank you to those who are watching this in replay, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much.